Premieres Monday, December 8th at 9.
It was one of the first great controversies of the Clinton presidency, the death of Deputy White House Counsel Vincent Foster back in the summer of '93. It was ruled a suicide after an investigation following the discovery of the body at Fort Morrissey Park in July of that year. The case eventually fading from public memory. It would stay part of history, but for the dogged attempts by a skeptical citizen to get access via the Freedom of Information Act to the 10 gruesome photographs of Foster's body made by the cops at the time. Last week, the U.S. Supreme Court heard oral arguments in the case, brought by my next guest, Alan Favish. Mr. Favish on board tonight to make the same argument he made to the High Court. He'll be opposed on trial Flashpoint tonight by former White House Special Counsel Lanny Davis. Nice to see you both, gentlemen. Mr. Favish, Bush administration joined the Foster family, including the widow, in saying that the release of the photos would do nothing but prolong the family's 10-year-long nightmare. What say you?
Well, I say that under the Freedom of Information Act, the definition of privacy is the right to control information about yourself. That's based on a 1989 Supreme Court case. And there is no information about the family members in these photos. If they want the law changed, they should be lobbying Congress for that change.
Lanny, why not the public's right to know trumping the family's right to privacy?
Well, first of all, we'll let the Supreme Court decide, and whether this is a matter of law or a matter of prurient interest by the gentleman will let others determine. The fact is that Kenneth Starr investigated this matter, no great friend of the Clintons. Robert Fisk, his predecessor as independent counsel, investigated this matter. The U.S. Park Police and the FBI investigated this matter. Privacy rights certainly should supersede what I believe is nothing productive other than prurient interest by anyone seeking this information.
Mr. Favish, aren't 5 government probes enough?
There haven't been 5 government probes. The Whitewater Committee said at the outset they were not investigating how Mr. Foster died. Moreover, Fisk and Starr did not investigate the FBI memo sent to the director of the FBI one day after the autopsy that said there was no exit wound, contradicting the autopsy report. Nor did they investigate what Dr. Hout said on page 2 of his medical report, the only doctor to view the body at the park. He said the death shot was mouth to neck, contradicting the autopsy report. Fisk and Starr did not investigate a lot of things which people can see at alanfavish.com in the briefs.
Okay, Lanny, you know, this guy chasing a conspiracy theory that's off the wall here?
There are people who believe that Martians appear in Washington, D.C. every day, and it's hard to prove the negative, Geraldo. Anyone who says that Ken Starr, after all the years that he then postdated the Robert Fisk investigation using the FBI in every investigatory tool, including those tools available to the federal government as well as the U.S. Park Police, and this gentleman is still after the mirage that he's looking for to violate again, I use the word prurient interest to look at these photographs for no other reason than to perhaps to get his day on your program is, I think, somewhat embarrassing.
30 seconds, Mr. Favish.
Apparently, Mr. Davis has not read the briefs at alanfavish.com. It is undisputed that there are major pieces of significant evidence dug up by citizen researchers that point to something other than suicide in the park. I don't know what the answer is as to how he died, but I do know the Fisk and Starr investigations cannot be trusted. The American people have to see the raw evidence for themselves.
All right, here comes the ruling. I agree with the Bush administration. I don't believe you have standing, Mr. Favish. I believe that these photographs shall remain private. I believe they'll ultimately be on your website in any case. As in the Kennedy
Geraldo, one final comment. Here I am defending Ken Starr. Imagine that.
That's of all the ironies, that perhaps is the sweetest. Lanny Davis, Alan Favish, thank you very much. My ruling, as I expect the Supreme Court will rule, the photographs remain the property of the family of Vincent Foster. I want to thank you very much for watching tonight. We'll have much more coverage of the Jackson case as it unfolds in the weeks and months to come. Don't make any judgments until you hear all the evidence. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Good night.